I don't know what happened with this fellow. I'm just saying.
Nothing. We had coffee.
I'll give you a fucking bone, you prick! Where's my fucking money?
Welcome back to Fact Me Up channel. In today's video, we're going to journey into the captivating world of The Sopranos and uncover 11 fascinating facts about a show that won 21 Emmys and 5 Golden Globes and delivered one of Hollywood's most controversial series finales of all time. So grab your cannoli and let's take a trip down the Soprano family. It's hard to imagine anyone else smoking Tony Soprano's cigars but James Gandolfini, but show's creator David Chase initially had someone else in mind for the iconic role. Before he auditioned Gandolfini, Chase wanted Steven Van Zandt, the guitar player in Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, to play Tony. Chase told Vanity Fair in 2012, Steven came on VH1 when they were inducting the Rascals into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Steven gave the speech. He was very, very funny and magnetic, and I said to my wife, that guy has got to be in the show. The producers didn't want to gamble on a first-time actor for the show's lead, so Chase offered to write a part for Van Zandt. The character Silvio Dante, who Van Zandt came to play, was in fact inspired by a short story about a retired hitman that Van Zandt wrote himself. Initially, Livia Soprano was supposed to die in the first season, but Nancy Marchand's battle with cancer led to her character staying on the show until the end of season 2. The tension between Tony and his mother Livia provided the central conflict for the show's first season, and that's where it was supposed to end. David Chase originally intended for Tony to succeed in suffocating his mother with a pillow after she tries to have him killed in season 1. However, when Chase cast Nancy Marchand as Tony's mother, he knew the actress wasn't long for this world as she was battling cancer. Edie Falco, who played Carmela Soprano, told Vanity Fair in 2012, "She had cancer the whole time we worked with her, but it was not spoken of. Nancy said to David, 'Please keep me working, that's keeping me alive,' and he graciously obliged." She passed away of lung cancer and emphysema in 2000, while Chase and his writers were already at work on scripts for the 3rd season. Having to cut her story short, but knowing how central his relationship with Livia was in Tony's story, the creator felt compelled to write the death into the show. And they got creative when it came time to putting Livia's final scenes on screen, using outtakes of old scenes while also CGIing Marchand's head onto another actress' body. It marked one of the first instances of using CGI to solve the issue of an absent actor, and even though it was not well received by critics, it was good farewell for Marchand's character. And just as hard as it is to picture another actor playing Tony, it's equally as difficult to imagine anyone other than Edie Falco playing his wife Carmela, but it was actually Lorraine Bracco who was initially in consideration. Bracco told Vanity Fair, "After doing Goodfellas, I was offered every mafia girl or wife available, and I said no to all of them. I did it once and I can't do it better." Bracco called her agent the day before she went to the audition and told that she won't play Carmela and that she wants to play DR.MELFI instead. It turned out perfectly in the end, as Bracco went on to garner 4 Emmy and 3 Golden Globe nominations for her performance. The character of DR.MELFI was modeled after David Chase's real-life therapist. In a 2006 interview with Rolling Stone, Chase revealed that Lorraine Kaufman, his therapist during the time he conceptualized The Sopranos, provided the inspiration for DR.MELFI. "She had the same way of cutting through your bullshit," he said. Not only did Chase tell Dr. Kaufman of her influence, Kaufman became involved in the character's psychological development. He recalls, "After 3 or 4 seasons, she wrote me a breakdown of the Soprano family. This was not a Bible, but every once in a while we got it out, and strangely enough, these fictional characters have in fact behaved in the way she predicted, even though we have forgotten she ever wrote it." While viewers watched as Tony's son AJ flirted with his father's criminal lifestyle over the course of the series, the life of actor Robert Iler began to imitate his role in 2001. As season 3 was airing, the young actor who played the son of a crime boss was arrested in New York and charged with the armed robbery of 2 Brazilian tourists and possession of marijuana. Iler eventually pleaded guilty to a single count of larceny and was given 3 years probation. Tony Sirico didn't have to look far for inspiration when playing the memorable character Paulie Walnuts. Prior to becoming an actor, SIRICO was convicted of several crimes, had been arrested 28 times, and completed 2 separate stints behind bars. Alleged to be an associate of the Colombo crime family capo regime and its capo Jimmy Green Eyes Clemenza during the late 60s and early 70s, he and his Sopranos co-star Vincent Pastore were seen meeting with Clemenza and his brother at a Christmas party in Little Italy in 1999 while Clemenza was under FBI surveillance. Executive producer Terrence Winter revealed in Vanity Fair that the show had such reach that real mobsters were watching the show and were struck by how true to life it was. Winter told Vanity Fair in 2012, "One FBI agent told us early on that on Monday morning they would get to the FBI office and all the agents would talk about The Sopranos. Then they would listen to the wiretaps from that weekend and it was all mob guys talking about The Sopranos too, having the same conversation about the show but always from the flip side. We would hear back that real wise guys used to think that we had somebody on the inside. They couldn't believe how accurate the show was. Not only were mafiosos watching the show, but they also had notes." During an appearance on Inside the Actor's Studio, James Gandolfini revealed that he'd received multiple phone calls from mobsters who complimented the actor on his work. During one early call, the caller critiqued the shorts Tony wore to a neighborhood barbecue in the show's pilot episode. The guy told the actor over the phone that a real Don never wears shorts, and from that moment on, Tony never wore shorts again. Lady Gaga got her first acting role thanks to The Sopranos, when she appeared in a 2001 episode as Girl at Swimming Pool No. 2 at just 15 years old. As a classmate at AJ's high school, she gets a good laugh when some punks toss their teacher's desk into the pool. But the future pop star wasn't impressed with her debut. In a 2021 interview with Entertainment Weekly's Awardist podcast, Gaga admitted that her performance on The Sopranos wasn't her best work. "When I look back on that scene, I can see exactly what I did wrong. I didn't know how to listen. I was supposed to laugh, and when I did it, it came out fake." This initial experience didn't shape the trajectory of her career, though. In 2005, JAMIE-LYNN Sigler, who starred as Tony's daughter Meadow, opened up about her battle with exercise bulimia that had become her main source of control during the show's early days. She credited in part her eventual ability to overcome the disorder to the producers on the show. She told Huffington Post in 2015, "The Sopranos was a big thing, and they had asked me to put on weight. I think they were concerned for my health, but also they just didn't feel I was the picture of a girl that lived in an Italian household that ate pasta all the time. So they were big catalysts in me taking a step back and realizing the issue." Drea de Matteo may have catapulted to fame thanks to her unforgettable performance as Christopher's girlfriend Adriana La Cerva, but it almost never happened. Drea de Matteo was brought in to read for the role of Adriana during the initial round of casting, but according to de Matteo, show creator David Chase didn't think she was Italian enough for the role. De Matteo told the Daily Herald in 2014, "I thought it was about opera singers, and I had my hair back in a ponytail with no New York accent. Had I known what the show was about, I would have been more prepared." Despite her rough audition, she earned a one-line role in the pilot as an unnamed hostess. It wasn't until after she had won Chase over with her performance and the series was picked up that de Matteo became the Adriana we all know and love. Creator David Chase originally envisioned his story about a mobster who enters into therapy to talk out the problems he has with his mother as a feature film starring Robert De Niro. According to Chase, his manager Lloyd Braun made him consider TV for the first time by telling him, "I want you to know that we believe that you have a potential for a great television series." He tried selling the pilot to Fox in 1995, who quickly passed on the original script that didn't include a single murder, and so did every other network. Chase decided to add a few grisly deaths and completely rewrote the script before trying again with HBO, and thus The Sopranos was born.